Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep. You join us once more in the cartographer with these 25 squares representing the almost 25 islands that make up our entire world. Last time I said, because we were editing Hobbes Rest, would you like to see me refresh the world and carry on playing? Or would you like to see me edit another island? Because there is another island, but there's a couple more islands that we should really edit. And bring them up to date with 0.48, which is the current update. And you guys said edit an island, so we'll do. We'll go back to Blue Hole and we will punch edit. It feels like we were here not so long ago, because we were here not so long ago. This was last island we created before everything changed, before the ficus trees changed, which is the important factor here. Now, the island's actually really beautiful. I love this island. This was a suggestion by Stanley Orchard in the comments to make a blue hole. So the island is kind of less of a traditional landmass, more of, well, a big blue hole with lots of treats in the middle, which is kind of cool. So we have our wrecks, our boats, our stacks. There's loads of stuff in there. If we go down too far, the light is going to be culled because of your physical altitude in the game. So the further down we go, the darker it gets, and then boop, we're out. The camera is still going to be crazy. There's nothing we can do about that. So I think everything in the big blue hole is fine. There's nothing we need to do there. I will just check. Yeah, Wilson's there, or Wally, or whatever you want to call it. So that's fine. Everything we... Oh, tree. Hello. Everything we put in there is still there. Nice. And of course, with the seabed update, it looks really quite pretty. So what we can do is we can turn the ocean back on, and suddenly it becomes very, very sinister. So you poke your face, boom, under the water, and everything is, well, it's a bit misty, but it's actually not too bad when you're playing around a game. So that is very cool. One thing missing from there, which I have noticed, and there was a comment in the comment section on the video saying, hey, I can't remember the lad's name. It might have been Jesus something. But they were saying, hey, got a problem with the sharks. And I was like, okay, yep, that's a familiar problem. See, what you normally do is you take a shark, hello great white, and you put them in a map. Let's go. Oh, the camera, man. You go and put them in the map. And the trouble is that you put it in and then you never see the shark, because in the olden days, in fact anything before 0.48, what you would do is you put it in and there would be two types of shark. There would be patrol and normal, and you would plop it in the sea, and if you had patrol, your shark would start, say, at 12 o'clock around and it would swim to either 9 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and then it would swim into the island and vanish, either becoming a land shark or just disappearing entirely. Now, here's the thing. They've got rid of the patrol versions of these sharks. So the original solution was to put in a non-patrol version, and it would just swim around and just pick up the player normally and try and get to the player in the shortest possible route. It wasn't patrolling, it was just kind of hanging out waiting for a player to be in the area. It's not brilliant, but it's what we were using. Unfortunately, since they've removed the patrol versions of the sharks, and you'll notice the blacktip reef shark is no longer an item you can place in the game, sharks are pretty much broken. So if you want to make a super scary map, well, you can place them in your map, but they might not work for the time being. In fact, they might not work for a while. We don't know, because we're not developing the game. We're merely playing it. So my suggestion would be, yeah, put them in, but don't expect them to appear. And if they do appear, it's a lovely, lovely, scary surprise. So we'll get rid of that fact. Why don't we just bring in the... Ooh, let's bring in the tiger just for comparison. Hello, tiger. Tiger. So the tiger actually got remodeled. And is, yeah, there's a pretty tiger shark. Very big. Sort of blunt nose. And yeah. No, is it bigger than the great white? That's a question. Let's go up. So yeah, the camera's a little bit... No, it's a little bit shorter. And interestingly, it's got some sort of wave effect around the tail. Like the surface of the water is sort of interfering with the model? Intersecting the model? Doing something with the model? Ah, cool. That's just seeing the game engine at work. It's brilliant. So these lads, yeah, put them in, but don't expect anything to happen if you do, for the time being. Good. But what we do need to do is go around and get rid of some of these boring ficuses and put some new, more interesting ficuses in, because we spent so long. You see, so what we do is make sure we got the right thing selected. We do not have the right thing selected. Let's move that up and down. Yep, that's an old ficus. Boom. New ficus is going in. Trees. Ficus 2, ficus 3. So this ficus tree 2, so this looks like the one type of ficus tree when it's in fact a different type. If I don't put you in just yet, I'm going to have to move that air tank, because there is an air tank, there is a couple of ration tins, and there is a lamp that we put in. There's a little, I wouldn't say Easter eggs so much as just a thing that you can use to swim into the hole itself. So let's do what we've been doing before. Put the tree in, bring it down. Nice. And importantly, it's got to look good from the shore. Does it look good from the shore? Yeah, it does actually look good from the shore, so that's fine. Brilliant. And it has a different effect on the world. Now what we can do here is just drag ficus in, down, press R, rotate. We might even just leave the old other type of ficus there. Is that going to work? Is it going to work? Questions. Maybe if we just canter that over a little bit. And then that way a little bit. So everything is jammed into the ground. Yes. Yep, it is. Nice. Ah, yeah. No, that's good. That's good. So it makes it look slightly different to other ficus trees, because we're going to be using the same model a lot. So we don't want everything to look identical. At the same time, we don't want everything to look, well, boring. And I don't know, I just find the sticky trees a little bit too uninteresting. I think is a good word. Uninteresting is a very good word. You're not bored, you are uninterested. What is this? It's probably the bit of wood, maybe? Or maybe it is... There's no wreck out here, is there? Let's turn the ocean off. No, oh, there is a wreck, but I don't think we... So, yeah, trying to actually select an item, an object, and then not select something that's not the item. So that's a rock. Is that the tree? And every time you let go, it always snaps onto something else. It's like, oh dear. Oh dear. So we can select... I mean, we're selecting stuff about 3/4 of a mile away at this point. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to... that's what I wanted to select. And then you let go and it snaps onto something else. Give me a text, like a text notification, some sort of notification that you've got ficus tree 2 selected. And then ficus tree 1, that'd be nice. Just something in the corner. That would be super sweet. So we'll do the same thing, and we'll just use that to fill this side of the island. This side of the tree out. Yep, that works. Does it work? It kind of does. The camera, we have no control over the speed, unfortunately, because... Nope, that's selected a palm tree in the distance. That's the plant behind it. That's a rock. The trouble is with these densely packed... what are you? Oh, that's exactly what I wanted. With these densely packed islands, you quite often get into a situation where the camera just shoots off sideways for no reason. I'm literally not touching Shift at all. It just does that. So we actually we actually designed this little area with the rocks in the bottom. I'm going to just hit terrain and objects. So there was some overhanging branches, and so there was this little pathway. So that sort of makes that a little bit more dense, a little bit more interesting. And we've got a tree with another tree stuffed inside it, a tree with no tree stuffed inside it, and whoop, tree with tree stuffed inside it. And it works. It just works because it does. Oh yeah, the bushes. We're going to have to get rid of the bushes. Why don't we do that now? So we'll go around doing that. I'm just going to make sure we have the right things selected. It's going to be easier to do this looking down so we don't accidentally select anything in the blue hole itself. Because there's a ton of rocks and a ton of things down there. Some of these shrubs are actually not bad. I think we could probably use them as structural items. Good. If you're wondering where this video's been, if you're watching videos as they come out, you might say to yourself, hang on a minute. Oh, Bob Ross has had a little shrub. Suddenly exploded all over the place. Yeah, you might say, there hasn't been a video in a while. In a few days, in fact. Yep, it's because it was bank holiday weekend in the UK, which is holiday. And I was away for a few days. It's fairly straightforward. Which means the first rule of the internet: you never tell anyone when you're going away because people might break in and steal your trinkets. And you never want people to come in and steal your trinkets. It's just something that people will do. Given half a chance, people will come in and just have a way with your trinkets. Just terrible people. Right, okay, fine. So we need to... let's finish the ficus trees. Let's do that. So this side of the island desperately does need... Oh dear, we're not even selecting the right thing. Not selecting the right thing. Selecting the right thing. So hit marker, as we got the rocks. We've got this thing here. We can get closer. Select it from the top. Top down. Nope. Oh, there we go. So we'll move that out a little bit. In fact, let's move it the other way. And move it over that way a little bit. Then we'll take the other ficus and then jam that in there. Nice. Real nice. And then take note that we've actually let go and then it's automatically selected a rock behind it. I'm wondering how much of this is just the engine, like quirkiness within the engine itself, and whether this is something that level designers have to struggle with on a regular basis. I'm just making sure none of the bigger branches are clipping through these pine trees because that wouldn't be great. It's not terrible, but it wouldn't be great. Let's see if we can select this guy. Can we select it? We have a huge tree. We're selecting everything but the tree. Let's select. I want to select the tree. Let me select the tree. Please let me select the tree. Simon says, let me select the tree. Oh my god, we're selecting rocks. I want to... I feel like George Lucas. Every scene is densely packed. What? I mean, that's the rock. That's a different rock. That's another rock again. Let's select from the top. That's the original ficus tree. That's automatically selected the plant next to the ficus tree. Oh my word! Seriously? That's ficus tree again. I don't care. Let's move on. And not be that person who struggles with just one simple thing. It's just like, oh, you struggle with one simple thing. Yeah, because we can only use the mouse click to select things. Let's get rid of you. Goodbye. You were the weakest link. You are now gone. Does that still happen? Do people still play that game show thing anymore? I honestly don't know. I haven't had a television in ages, so What would I know? So we'll put that there, and we'll do a world tree thing here. Because why not? Yeah, I can honestly say not having a TV. I don't miss it. Having to have a TV license. Oof, that's rough. And when you say, you know what, I'm not watching TV anymore, don't need a TV license, don't have a telly box. And then TV licensing people are like, well, you are kind of a criminal. So we're just going to tell you that you're a criminal and just be like, and tell you all the nasty things that are going to happen to you, including all the medieval style things we'll do to you for not having a TV license. It's like, no, I just don't want one. I don't want to pay £4,000 a year to watch something, to watch Carol Vorderman tell me I need PPI claims insurance thingy. Ugh. Carol Vorderman used to be good. Used to be on Countdown. I'm trying to... Oh, let's move this tree out of the way so we can select the other tree. Yes. God, this is stupid. Rotate you around, because what I want is a branch kind of over the beach. That's what I want. Oh yeah. I'm going to select this one and move it back. If you don't know who Carol Vorderman was, how do you describe that? Member of Mensa, fairly intelligent, spent most of her career on a game show called Countdown, putting letters in boxes, I think. Wow. That's kind of depressing. What did you do for your entire life? Oh, I picked up letters and put them in little slots. Oh, all right. Stick E. Okay. Move you down a little bit. Russian. The reason is because I was looking at the side of this and it looks a bit flat. So if we poke you out the side, it looks a bit more built up. It's good. It's good. So we've got kind of a bit of an old chunky tree, lots of shade there as well. Because one of the things this island doesn't have is a lot of shade. I think one of the reasons the ficus trees were changed was because the original model didn't give you shade benefits from having shade. Cast shade did something with shade. Who knows? Who knows? So we'll do the same thing here. Pop it in the ground, press T, push it down in the ground. Little look, press R to rotate. A little bit of rotating action going on. Good. And that looks fine. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Cool. It's nice to come back sometimes and just play around. Some of these trees we might just leave for variety. It's not a joke. I mean, we are going to be leaving the trees, not like tree leaves. I hate it where you have to point the stuff out like that. It's like, get it? It's a thing. That is the joke. And people are like, I don't get it. Sometimes if you have to explain a joke, it's just not funny anymore. It's just not funny. So we are going to push that back. And there. It's fine. Good. Do we need to do much with this? No, there's some more small trees there, so I think that's actually fine. So the large ficus, regular, large, regular can stay. You know what we might do? Put a little one there, just around the outside. You know, just to give it some depth. And I think you can chop those ones down, so that'd be nice. Same thing there. Good. So it gives it, sort of thickens up the sort of greeny, shrubby looking stuff. Because, yeah, this island, what it doesn't have is anything to block line of sight. So, I mean, it's quite big anyway, just physically. And the fact that you have to swim from one side of the island to the other adds a lot to it. And I think that's quite good. I'm looking at these connecting pieces. I think that's fine. What I will do is hit terrain, hit display ocean, and look with smoothing tool here, because let's hit objects for just a second, because of this sort of triangular edge just along here, which I did notice when we were playing the map, which I don't think is here. It's a little bit, but it's not as noticeable. So what we might do is just quickly polish that off by selecting smooth, changing the brush size down, and the amount is a reasonable amount, and just brushing across that edge. There we go. And that, does that help at all? Yeah, let's push it in. Nice. Oh yeah, no, that really does help. Cool. So let's get rid of those triangular pieces. Good. And everything else was fine, I think. Probably do the same thing just here, just a little bit, just to smooth that off. Good. Yeah, I was actually really, really happy with this map. So as far as all of that goes, that's good. I don't want to do that as directed. I want to turn the ocean on. There we go. Very, very good. Very good. And it looks fine from just above the surface. Yes, it does. Ah, brilliant. So we had quite a few things like the palm trees. And the palm trees were used initially to mark the entrance and exit of the lagoon, which we put a rock either side. Yes, we did. So all the structural stuff was taken up before we put in the decorative stuff. Yeah, cool. Oh yeah, I know what we can do, because I don't think we've come here since the tide system was introduced. So let's just change the tides. So that's low tide. I think it's actually going to work quite well. Oh, there's a little bit of sand just there. I think I'll just smooth that. Are we smoothing it? Smooth amount. I think it already is smooth, you know? I think it's fine. So a little bit of sand shows there. So this is low tide. Nice. Can we see the effect of the tide on the boat? Yeah? It's not, I mean, it doesn't go that far. I suppose it's about a foot, so that's low. That's high. So that's high tide, absolute high tide. It doesn't eliminate these little islands on the end, so that's good. And this little bit of sand has now disappeared, so that's fine. Yeah, I think it's. I think we're going to get away with that, you know. So we have done the ficus trees, we've smoothed off the edges of stuff, we've explored the sharks, and I think there is probably one more thing to do, and that is throw in some of the new bushes, because they are, I think they're much maligned, but they are kind of useful. So we can find the bush, which is using the old model, and if we throw that in back where it was kind of, yeah, there, I think. So if we pull that in and then push it down a bit and pull it out, I think we can have it kind of fill in that rock section without interfering too much with anything else, and just gives that some little bit of interest there. Cool. Yes, I think that works quite well. I don't think we can use it anywhere else on these little islands without making it too tricky to get on to the island. There's a lot of medicinal plants as well. What we can do is, if we hit R, rotate you around. Oh, we haven't got the thing. What thing? Do you remember the babe? What babe? The babe with the power. Right, so I'm just making sure we're not squashing any any creatures like the crabs, Mr. Crab's down there, but it just adds a little bit more interest to the island. Interesting. Interesting. And we could do the same thing here. So what we'll do, because it's kind of crescent shaped, so we will push it in and just kind of have it hug the rocks here. Put it down a little bit further into the island, into the island itself. Yeah, I think that works quite well. So we had, past tense, Bob Ross's happy little bush. And unfortunately, Bob Ross's happy little bush suffered a little bit in the sort of general change. So what we're going to do is rotate this around, rotate this to a point and see if we can't get a single shrub poking through. Is this crazy? Yeah, a little bit. Don't know if we're going to be able to do it very well. Let's do this. No, not working. Let's do this. Oh yeah, we're going to have to raise it up so high. If we use the central shrub, pull that up and then rotate around on its axis to there. This is just frivolous. I am going to say it's completely frivolous. Might be able to do is something like that, and then it's not perfect. But it's important that we try. So we've tried. I don't think there's anything else that we can really use to make it any more appealing. So we'll just leave it like that. I think that'll be fine. Bob Ross will be happy with that. Oh, one of the interesting things about Bob Ross, he used to be in the army, and when he came out of the army, he said that he would not raise his voice again, and he didn't, which is why he talked the way he did. Also, he had straight hair, but it was kind of fashionable at the time to perm your hair, and while he didn't like the perm, it became part of his identity, so he kept it. So yeah, Bob Ross's hair was permed, not naturally curly. So that's the thing. A little Bob Ross facts for you. You got some shark insight, you got some Bob Ross facts, and you got an island which has been cleaned. I think that's really all we needed to do with this. So yeah, nice. The other thing, I think, what camera please, we were looking at were these pine trees, these cook pines, and yeah. So if you look here, there's kind of an S-bend in them, and it looks like some, now instead of just being straight sticks as they were originally, they did actually change them, so they are curved and they all sort of face in different directions. You could, I suppose, kind of rotate them so they're all kind of the same, the curve is in the same direction if you want to show some sort of prevailing wind. You can actually rotate these ones around as well. So you could have one looking like it's fallen over or whatever, but for us, I think we might just leave the island as it is. It actually takes up quite a lot of the square. I hadn't realised how much of the square it takes up, but yeah. No, wait! What am I thinking? There is one more thing that we need to look at. Hold everything, the press, the phones, the horses, for we need to make sure the yucca situation is up to date. So there are yuccas, there is at least 4 on the main body of the island, which is good. Let's see if there's anything, nothing there. Anything here? No. 5 yuccas. And anything over here? 6 yuccas. So, yeah, there's plenty of yucca plants for water, and I think there's plenty of little palm trees, baby palm trees. Yeah, so there's palm trees, there's rocks, there's clay. There's actually everything that is needed on this island is on this island. So I think we can wrap it up there. We have checked everything, we've tidied things that are broken, and now we can simply save it. So why don't we just hit save? And you know what? I think we're done. So I'm going to leave it there. If you like these videos, definitely leave a like, leave a subscribe. And you know what? Subscribing is free. So if you do that, click the little bell, because then you'll get notifications when videos go live. And you know what? I'll catch you next time.